Why, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I'm your hosting guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today on this LOTRO guide, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to join and navigate a kinship. So the basics of this stuff, and I have a wonderful, this is also going to be tied, this video, to our welcome message. If you join our kinship on the server Carlisle, Voice of the Rings kinship, if you ever want to join us, awesome. So I'll talk about that more at the end of the video. But basically going into this, I'm going to use this wonderful message. This was made by one of our officers that I approve of. Approve of the officer and his message is the point. And it's a welcoming message that we send out to everybody when they join the kinship. I am going to basically walk you through that message as kind of the template on what I'm going to show you today through this guide video. I want to give you some visuals so you can actually see how to do it in-game as well for those who might need that, and so there's no confusion at all on any how to do things or certain things, even though it is very well explained in the message and very well done. But again, this will be helpful to everyone, even if you're not necessarily joining our kinship. This will help anyone joining a kinship. All right, so that is the goal of this guide video today on any server, though we hope you're joining Voice of the Rings kinship, of course. But any kinship, this will help you out. So the first thing that's going to happen is when someone sends you an invite, right? If you join through finding through my channel here and you want to join us on Carlisle, you make your character on the right server. You have to be on the same server as that kinship, right? So in the case of ours, we're on the server Carlisle or the world, okay? Then after that, someone is going to send you a kinship invite. Now this is extremely important, this first part, before we get into the message, because I think some people might get confused on this because some games do this slightly differently, okay? And a kinship is also called a guild a lot of times in other MMOs and other video games. So, or a fellowship, you know, like that. It's got that same vibe, but kinship, obviously fellowship is something that's used in Lord of the Rings Online, so they use that for group things in the game, and kinship is like guild, which is, I like kinship. I think the term is great. All right, so moving into the information here. So the first thing that's going to happen is when someone invites you to the kinship, a little kinship message is going to pop up somewhere on your screen. Okay, the reason I say somewhere is because it does occasionally move depending on the ratio of your, monitor, if it's a 1080 monitor, if it's a 2K monitor, things like that. But it's going to be a little tiny window that pops up somewhere on the thing. I'm not going to show you that right now because it's pretty simple, but I just want to make sure you guys know it's not within this chat thing. So this is the chat system in Lord of the Rings Online right here. It is not within this. So I don't want people to think, oh, where is it? I'm looking through this chat thing. Why am I not getting the invite? If you're newer to the game, it's going to pop up somewhere on your screen. It's going to say something like the Lord of the Rings kinship. Do you want to join this kinship, Voice of the Rings? Now, if you're joining a different kinship, someone else is inviting you, and you're using this as a guide video for you, it would be a different name, obviously. And it says, do you want to accept or not? Then you will be joined into the kinship. It'll tell you some information on your chat thing that you've joined, blah, blah, blah. And there you go, you're set up. All right, so now that you're in the kinship, how to navigate around the kinship. All right, so real quick, just bring up this tab down there. So the one with the little people, there is also you can press the keys of O for the social media tab. Okay, so you can press the key O on the keyboard. It'll also bring this up, and then go to the middle tab here called kinship. You'll see this once you're in a kinship. This will be blank if you're not in a kinship. This tab will say something like you're not in a kinship yet. All right, so once you're in that is great and all, but now let's go into the message that I want to talk about for the kinship event today. I want to do this kind of quickly. So another thing that's going to happen if you join our kinship, and some other kinships do this as well, but we're trying to make a very nice uniform system for everybody. You're going to get a message probably from one of our officers, most likely. It'll pop up in the bottom right down here. So I'm going to close my camera for a moment. And if you see down here, see how I have this little alert message popped up here? It may pop up again somewhere else on your screen, but you can bring this up and it's going to be alerts. It will say new mail. Okay, so you click on that. Now, one thing that I have to stress, all right, here, now that's open, is if you have new mail and you are a free-to-play player, you're not going to be able to just click on it and open it like I just did. You will have to find a mailbox somewhere in the world. They are all over the place. If you open the map, you can see them as these little little envelopes, okay? They're all over the place in Middle-earth. And if you own a house in the game, though, you'll have one there too. So it's quite easy to find. So again, I could run right up here. I've got my little whimsical Tom Bombadil walk here. I love it. Here's a mailbox right here in Southern Brie. You can use that, okay? So just keep that in mind. So then you're going to get these messages, all right? And this is what I'm going to talk you guys through right now in this video as quick as I can. And also let you guys know you're welcome to join the kinship. And if you are joining the kinship, you are watching this because of that, welcome to Voice of the Rings kinship. Oh, we are glad to have you. And again, my wonderful officer, commander, John Hammer set this up, and his character's name is this name right here you see. This message, and again, I approve of it, and I am the main leader of our kinship. So now we go through this, all right, we have the welcome, and it should be, this is 1 of 5. It's a group of information. I don't want anyone to feel overwhelmed. It's really not. If you look at it, it's very nicely done. It's basically just giving you guys information on what you can do, fun things, and that's what I'm going to walk you through right now. So the first one that's going to be the lowest one that pops up, all right, it's 1 of 5. And then you can go through and read all these. I'm going to read it just a little bit and then explain what to do in-game, if it's something you have to do, or if it's just information and I'd like to tell you guys about, okay? So it says, welcome, new kinmate, to Voice of the Rings. Welcome, Voice of the Rings is a LOTRO kinship based on the Crick Hollow server, which I've already explained to you. It is associated with the YouTube channel Voice of the Rings, you're watching right now, my channel. He's got the link there right there set up. Zollin Ironshield, which again is me, that's kind of my pen name, where Voice of the Rings is my channel name, if you're, so no one gets confused, is the Voice of the Rings. He is the content creator for YouTube channel, and he tells you some information here. If someone joins in through game and doesn't join in through my channel, knowing that way, you will also be able to chat with Zollin during YouTube streams and play here on Crick Hollow. Yes, we have lots of fun doing awesome events, and we're trying to build the community even more and more. It's going to be super, we have so much fun, so welcome. I'm going to skip through a little bit of this because you can read it yourself if you join our group, but I want to explain what to do in-game when we get to those points. We have a Discord channel. Here's the invitation link. He put a link right there. I do highly recommend doing this. You don't have to, he even says here, but you might find it fun and informative, but you do not have to for participation. You don't have to join Discord, but I recommend it. One thing I do ask everyone to do if you join my kinship is that you are subscribed to my YouTube channel to support the channel, and that's free, and I think most of you love doing that anyway, so I appreciate it. But again, Discord isn't mandatory. I will also link in the description of this video. That'll be good for a week. You can always go to voiceoftherings.com. I have a whole site where you can join through all my social media things there as well, or join through, get it there. But highly recommend it because we have a lot of information. I get out there. I put stuff on the community thing on my YouTube channel, and we post mail in game, but we don't want to spam people. So the Discord is really nice too, because you can pick and choose what channels you listen to and stuff in the Discord. So that's the first message, basic stuff. The second one, we'll bring it up here, that he sends out is Voice of the Rings welcomes everyone. This is important. I got to explain this one too right now since he's I'll read it real quick and then I'll explain it. So I'm going to read a little fast so we can get through this video quick. That means we have a diverse membership which spans a wide range of ages, residents, and different continents, which is definitely true. Professions, experiences with LOTRO, gaming, and other interests, religions, and approaches to living life and overcoming its challenges. This means. All right, and then he's basically got some the basic stuff, which you all understand, I'm sure. Be nice. This is very broad. And you know what it means. It includes, I love that John put that, not deeming or insulting any person or group or people. It should go without saying that threats, real life things, will not be tolerated. Of course, obviously you all know that. And might result into, appropriate, we might have to ban you or something. But of course I would do that on the channel too. Moving on. But casual profanity and any sexual comments we don't do here on my channel or our kinship. I really like my channel to be PG for my viewers, no matter what ages, and also our kinship. We're here to have fun and play Lord of the Rings and have a blast, and all ages are welcome, but we really don't want to have that. So, yeah. Do not discuss politics or religion in game and kin channel things. This is mainly for, okay, or on the Discord if possible. The interest has plenty of other places. The internet has plenty of other places you can do that, he puts. Yeah, so I just want to add a little bit as myself. Again, I totally approve of his message here. I definitely want people to feel totally welcome, but we really try to stick to Lord of the Rings topics through this channel and our kinship in-game. We really don't want you've heard me say stuff on my channel before. I have my beliefs. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I do that, but I don't push that on people, okay? And also, same thing, I don't talk about politics. We don't talk about hard subjects. We don't talk about our viewpoints in life and things like that. A little things, if you make a friend here and there, that's fine. But publicly messaging big group things, we try to do that on our Discord and stuff. We want people to be able to come here and have fun, play Lord of the Rings online, and be happy, all right? And kind of ignore the rest of the world. As much as it's good to have your opinions on the world and your thoughts, we're trying to make it a really fun place to be able to relax, right? Because we deal with that enough in our day-to-day lives, me personally, myself as well. So that's one of the goals we're trying to do here. And again, I want everybody to feel welcome to be able to join in, but I also don't want anyone to ever feel like someone is pushing their life viewpoint, no matter what it is, or, you know, whatever it is, on other people, right? And again, I have a little leeway on my channel personally to say things about, you know, me because it's my channel. But I'm specifically talking, and John Hammer is talking about our kinship and our Discord. We want that to be kind of a fun area for everyone. We just have to blanket that rule because otherwise things can get messy, as everyone knows in life. All right, next message. Whoop. I'm trying to hurry and get this done with this video. All right, so please, we need to show you a couple of things now that I wanted to show you. I might drop a couple timestamps for you as well. Please visit our Kinship House. You can do so using your travels to Kinship House skill. Now, this is what I want to show you in game, okay? We have fun and useful things there, including free crafting and ingredients crafting, which you can use with every character every day, a training dummy, a full crafting suite of things you can use to craft there, and many travel options such as teleporters and stable masters. I'm going to show you that right now in game because this is the kind of stuff that I want to make sure people realize if you're a brand new player and you're like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? I want to be able to show you physically in game. You are welcome to withdraw whatever you like from the kinship stuff. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and first show you how that first part, okay? So if I'll close my camera here for a moment. You can see this ability right here. You could say travel to Kinship House, all right? See this white one right here? So I'm going to go ahead and click it. Now, where do you find this skill if it isn't on your skill bar already? I will show you that in just a moment. We basically go into... All right, let me bring back up my camera there. So the first thing is, if you need to, click C for character or click that second button down there where my mouse is. Bring this up, go to skills. Also, you could, to get to skills, you can also press, I think, K for skills. Just double checking real quick to make sure I'm correct on that. I am correct on that. You go into here and you go into, you can shrink all of these with a little plus and minus if you wanted to up here at the top and go to the milestone travel skills, or actually, you know what? I think it is, let's see, travel skills. No, it's just under travel skills. That is where your Kinship House icon will be, and you can drag and drop this onto your thing. I have an entire guide video on how to set that stuff up, so you don't get too confused on that, but that's where you can find it if you want to find it. So once you're at your Kinship House, which John Hammer explains here in the message to you guys, includes free crafting and all this stuff. So let me go ahead and just walk over here for a moment. All right, so what we have is these are for crafting. All of these things is what John Hammer's talking about for doing crafting, including a farm plot over there, cooking, metalsmithing, workbench for woodworkers, a scholar bench, so you can use all that for crafting for in-game for our new crafters or people learning how to do the crafting system. You don't have to go to a market area. And then John Hammer said they're supply crates, okay? So these things right here, you can come here daily, right-click them, and it will give you these resources that will go into your, they're called universal ingredient packs. They help just give you free crafting things, basically, without having to find certain resources. We won't go into it fully on this video because it'll get confusing, but there's that. We also have a barber here. He can change your looks a little bit in game and all that kind of jazz. Kind of fun. And then also, if we go into here, we have a few more. Let me go ahead and read the last little bit here that he was saying on the message. You are welcome to withdraw whatever you like from the Kinship House chest. Anything in these is for everyone who wants it, but there's one exception. You are also welcome to deposit things into the Kinship House storage chest for other people. You are never required to do so, but you contribute are always welcome. So you don't have to. You can just take stuff. You don't have to put it back. But it says, we ask that you don't withdraw items just to sell them. So my point is, don't just like clear out the thing, go to a random NPC and just sell all the stuff for just in-game basic money. It's like crafting things and stuff for people to use. So if it's something you can use, a piece of armor, a crafting item, things like that, then you're welcome to take it out, is basically what he's saying there. And respect from the Zollin to Zollin storage tab. Otherwise, enjoy freely. Okay, so that's the third one. So again, if you right click on this, it'll bring up this storage tab, and you can see here there is a to Zollin tab. Nothing's in there right now, but sometimes people will drop that for me for something I need as a leadership, or from Zollin. You know, I'll put something there. So basically, to be determined. So use all of these other ones are fine though. For people who have dropped cosmetics. There's gear here you can take and use. And once you take this, it will bind to your character, so just keep it. Once it gets old, you can then sell it to a vendor. That kind of stuff. There's recipes, crafting materials, consumables that you can take and just use these. These are for, like, give you in-game buffs and things like that. If you're someone who doesn't want to take a stack of 50 honey cakes because you know you're not going to use that many, let me just show you real quick for those people who are a little conscientious about that. You're welcome to take a stack of 50 if you think you'll be using them for the next few weeks, you know. But if you want to, go ahead and drag and drop them into your inventory. You open your inventory with I, by the way. They're down there, those little inventory bags. And then you can hold down Shift, left click, and drop in another spot, and it'll bring up this little tab thing here, and you could say half. Split and say okay, and you notice it split the group into half, and then you can drop the other 25 back in if you want to do something like that. Side note, but that's for people who maybe are a little conscientious about, oh, I don't need that many. You can do that, okay? You can come back and get more later if you wanted to. So now that we have that information, let's go ahead and open the fourth one here for information for you guys. So it says a player note. This is extremely important, okay? This is for our kinship knowledge, for our leadership to know who you are, kind of thing, and also to help navigate the Kinship tab. Okay, so if we bring up real quick the Kinship tab again, we've got a double music playing right now, so I'm gonna actually go somewhere else because it's a lot of music going on right now. Oh, there, it fixed itself. Okay, we won't worry about it. The social tab, there is a thing right here called location. See that? And there's this little blue tab. If you click this, it'll actually go to player notes or to when they join the kinship. Go to player notes, and there's residency too. Go to player notes. This is kind of a huge one. We would love it if you guys add a note of your character, who you are. This will help greatly if you tell us what your background is of your character. So first, what I mean is add a note. For me, I have a note here, I'm voice of the ring, Zollin, okay? And then all of my other characters throughout, if I turn on who's offline or not, you can see I have other characters here, alt of Zollin, voice of the rings. These are all technically my characters here. They're all my alts, okay? So that's a good way you can write it, like these are here. It's a little small, I know, but pretty much I just put alt of my main character / and put on voice of the rings. Now you can do something like that too to help us out, to let us know what your YouTube name is, if that's what you like to go by, or your Discord name, right? Because a lot of people have a different YouTube name, a different Discord name, and a different character name in game. Totally understand, that's totally fine. But if you have a character name in game, let us know in those notes, for one, who your main character is. You can put main, right? You could say, oh, this is my main. I don't do that because pretty much everyone knows I'm Zollin, but main / whatever your Discord name is or your YouTube name, right? And then you can put alts and put whatever the alt of your main name you like to go by, or your in-game characters, whoever he's, you know, let's say your main is named Zori or something in game. You could say alt of Zori, and then / like your YouTube name or something, or your Discord name. That's really, really helpful. You have to do it individually on every character that you make. Just keep that in mind. It's not really very hard to do, but it will really help us out, and it'll help out your friends know who you are in the kinship, okay? There we go. There's also one other thing I wanted to talk about. If you have multiple characters in the kinship, this is where John Hammer explains this, what I just said. Please designate one as your main and write a note telling us the name you use on YouTube or Discord. I just explained all this, all right? But this is also here for you to follow up if you forget. So we'll know who you are. For example, if you are, he gives the example I just kind of gave you, that notes start John Hammer from YouTube. All right, so he puts, because that's what his name is on YouTube. For each of your alts, write a note telling us who your main character is. For example, let's just read this real quick. If you are look up the character Vorum, and this is what I just explained, his one character in our thing, you'll see that it says alt of his main character and his YouTube name. That's what I just explained. So basically, we're all set there. I covered that entire thing, but you'll see that letter as a backup there because this video is supposed to go along with those letters. All right, so, and the last one, and one other thing that I realized I didn't tell you guys about on this third letter, going back to it, third part, is you are welcome, wait, let's see. It's with the travel kinship house. We have full use, I Actually, you know what? It is the 5th one. I'm jumping ahead. All right, so we bring up the 5th one and it says, if you own a house. It is. I'm jumping ahead. I apologize. So the last one here, if you own a house or purchase one in the future, please designate one of your houses as your primary residence. I'm going to show you how to do that right now, okay? Your fellow Voice of the Rings kinship members, all of us, can visit your house using their travel to kinship members house skill. And of course, you can do the same to visit the houses of others, all right? This is both fun to see how other Voice of the Rings have decorated their houses and useful to quickly travel to various places in Middle-earth. You can designate one of your houses as your primary residence by bringing up your housing management panel. Okay, so this is what I want to show you in-game, so you don't get too confused. All right, so if you bring up the character panel, which is C, or down, it's that second button over there where my mouse is. And, sorry, I clicked the wrong one. That's the 3rd one. Character, 2nd one. And then if you go to the one that has house, there at the bottom, you see it, the bottom tab. You bring this up. Here you go. This is it. And now, basically, you just click one of these little stars, and it says, make this house your primary residence, okay? See how I have several homes? I can make this one my primary, or this one. All right, it really depends on where you want to have it. I have right now my Thorns Hall home as my primary below this kinship house. So again, very helpful for everybody. And depending on where you are in the world, people can travel to it. Okay, I have a whole video on how to use this panel if you need it. So let me just finish up real quick with the last bit of information here, and I'll explain one last thing. Can visit your home using the travel skill member, and of course, you can do the same to visit the houses of others. This is both fun to see, well, you already read that. You can designate one of your houses to your primary residence, which I just showed you with these little stars. Bringing up management panel, the little stars to the left, and he explains what I just explained to you. We are happy you have chosen the Voice of the Rings kinship. Indeed we are. We're very happy to have you. And hopefully this video helped you, or if you're someone just trying to join a kinship and navigate these basic things in kinship stuff, hopefully this helped you out. The video is a little bit longer than I was expecting, but you know what? There was a little more than I realized that I had to cover there for you guys. So if you did get some help out of that, don't forget to throw a like and subscribe. And even if you don't play on our server, Quick Hollow, you're welcome to join our channel here of Voice of the Rings on YouTube and in our community if you want to join our Discord too. And if you have some alts that want to play with us over here, sweet, bring them on over. And then we will have some fun together, my friends. And again, one last thing, the travel to kinship, if we bring the skills back up again and go to those travel skills one more time, you can see travel to kinship members' house, all right? Return quickly to kinship members' primary residence. This skill is easily interrupted. To use this skill, you must first visit a kinship member by using the visit button on the Kinship tab in the social panel. This is what a lot of people won't understand how to do. So if we bring up the Kinship tab again, which you guys remember, that's that button down there, and then you can go to click on someone, like let's click on John Hammer here, right here, and let's say visit. Okay, so if I'm just clicked on left click and I click visit, what it's going to do is you don't even have to have this ability out. It's automatically going to just use John Hammer's house as the location I'm traveling to. So as you can see, he has his house in the Elven area, and ta-da! I'm at John Hammer's house in the Elven quarters. All right. Now you can have your home wherever you like. All right. This again, home of his main character, and we can see what he's got and travel around. And most of the times, you want to designate it where your kinship members can go into your house and see things, right? I have an entire video on how to do that. Okay. But just make it easy for you guys real quick. I'll give you a little refresher here at the end. Just go to character, go to house, go to choose which house you want to work on. Let's say I want to use this one right here. I say maintenance, all right, or no, permissions. Maintenance is how you pay for the house. Permissions, and then under kinship, you can add visit and use decorations. Those are the two that I would recommend. I do it for everyone and kinship. I don't care who walks to my house to look at how cool my house is. They're not able to mess with anything if you just have visitor and use decorations on. Okay, just means they can turn lights on. They can't do anything else and go in your house. So recommend to have those two things on. All right. So again, by the way, too, you can always use your teleport skills to your certain houses, but you only have your one teleport skill. So your normal primary one will just go to whichever one you designate, but you can always come into this tab and also just click this arrow, and it will automatically use your teleport thing. So this one's actually going to my house over at in the Hobbit area. And then, of course, if you'd like to be in the same neighborhood as our kinship house, because every neighborhood has dimensions. Again, I have guide videos on all this if this gets confusing. I'm throwing this on the end because I think some people might want this a little bit more advanced info. You could always join the kinship neighborhood of, in Thornthall Homestead, of Thorntoon, Northtoon, okay? Right there, you can see the name. And that is when you come to the front of a kinship neighborhood, there's always an option of all these dimensions. So pretty much when you're in a kinship, for example, this elven one, there is like 30 dimensions. So like this house, there's 30 of them, right? It's because there's thousands of players. They want to make sure, since this neighborhood only has like, what, 50 houses, that enough people can have an option in a house, or if someone really wants that house by the thing, you know. But if you want to be in the same dimension where we could walk around to each other's homes, even though it's not really necessary, since you can just teleport to people's houses through that way I just showed you, to any dimension or any neighborhood, you could go get one in Northtoon in Thornthall Homestead. But you don't have to. But again, for the last thing, I'm going to click this little arrow, and I'm going to travel to my actual home here, which you guys are welcome to come visit in the way I showed you through the Kinship tab and what John Hammer said in that information. I think I've covered everything I wanted to cover. Welcome. I'm up in the mountains, in the Misty Mountains. It's near the Hobbit area, and I have a barn and a hobbit hole in this beautiful mountainous region of Middle Earth. Yes, anyway, it's quite fun. Beautiful look. It overlooks the hobbit villages up here. These are the river hobbits. There's a whole lore thing in this game. It's pretty awesome. So anyway, my friends, with that, I think I will go ahead and let you go. I have covered the message. It's wonderful. John Hammer took the time to send me this message to my character, even though he's been in the group, so that I could walk you through it and show you it and let you know all that information. So again, welcome to the Voice of the Rings Kinship, if you're joining us, and have a great and wonderful day in Middle Earth, my friends. I do highly recommend you join our Discord as well. I'll link it down there. Stay happy. Thanks to my Patreons for going above and beyond. Thank you for liking and subscribing. It means a lot to me. And over there is the next episode for this, and over there is a LOTRO tale, most likely, where I do voiceovers in Lord of the Rings Online. This channel does cover a lot of Lord of the Rings content, whether it be gaming, lore, replicas, and many other things. See you in the next one, my friends. Stay happy.